Okay, hi guys. This is my review of Ulrich Seidl's Paradise Faith. I've really been looking forward to doing this video because it's the final installment that I saw in his Paradise trilogy. It's not actually the final movie. The final film is Hope. First one was Paradise Love. This one was part 2, Paradise Faith, and Paradise Hope was part 3. I just happened to see this one last. I saw Paradise Love a couple of years ago and saw Hope this past September at TIFF. And just saw this one on DVD today. So, yeah, so I really enjoyed the whole trilogy. I really like this guy, Ulrich Seidl. He's an Austrian director, and he's gotten the reputation for being quite a bad boy, because his movies are quite voyeuristic. They really show people the way that they really are, human nature in its darkest, most kind of, not most flattering way. He really has a way of showing people how people really are, how human nature can really be. He's really good at that. He's brilliant at that. And these movies were definitely like that. It's like, you're getting a glimpse into somebody, the way that they really are. You're looking into their soul, and sometimes that's not always a pleasant thing. Definitely in these movies, it was not a pleasant thing. They're disturbing, deal with disturbing subject matter, and there's a lot of disturbing scenes in all of these movies, but they're so well done, and they're engrossing, and they're fascinating, and you just cannot take your eyes off them because they're so well done. So anyway, this movie, Paradise Faith, the main character in this movie is named Anna, and she's the sister of Teresa, the main character in the first movie, Paradise Love, in which this woman goes off to Kenya for a sex holiday. And you cannot imagine two more different sisters. This woman, Anna, is this ultra devout, super hyper devout, religious woman. She's constantly praying, constantly trying to, convert people to Catholicism and, get them to, bring God into their life and all this stuff. That is her entire life. That is her reason for existing. When the movie starts off, she's working in a hospital as an X-ray technician, and she goes and says goodbye to this doctor. She's going on vacation, and this is her vacation. She prays, and then during the day she'll go and visit people carrying this big statue of the Virgin Mary with her, knocking on their doors and saying, "Oh, the Mother of God has come to visit you today. She wants to help you. Can we come in and pray with you?" And some people let her in, some people just slam the door in her face. Actually, most people end up letting her in, surprisingly enough. So she's kind of like one of these Jehovah's Witness types, only she's Catholic. And so she ends up going into these people's homes, and they're really kind of all down and outers. Like, I think a lot of them were immigrants, and she goes in there saying, well, you're new to Austria, and the Mother of God here wants to help you adjust to your new country, and this and that. And, some of these scenes, like, they're so cringeworthy, like, just like in Paradise Love, like I was talking about. If you want to go and watch those videos, that I did on Paradise Love, it just, like, there's this one scene where she goes to this guy's house, and he's kind of like a hoarder type. His house is a mess. He's got all this stuff around, and she's trying to get him to kneel and pray with her, and it just goes on, and this guy's like rambling, and, I'm sitting there going, like, come on already. But I don't know, it's just done in such a way that, it's, even though it drives you crazy watching it, you can't take your eyes off it. Like, it's really well done. And when this movie actually played at the New York Film Festival this past October, I believe, and it got a lot of press because there were a lot of people protesting this movie outside the theater. And having seen this movie now, I can see why, because there were a couple of scenes in this movie that would have been extremely offensive to anybody who is extremely religious. There's one scene that comes to mind in particular where she's lying in bed one night, and there's this crucifix on the wall, and she's aroused, she's turned on, so she kind of reaches up and strokes the feet of this crucifix, and then she ends up taking this crucifix off the wall and basically just kind of making love to this crucifix with her mouth. She's basically giving head to this crucifix. And she ends up putting it under the blanket and masturbating, I guess. So, I mean, I can imagine anybody who's like, super religious would see that and just like storm out of the theater, completely irate. The opening scene of the movie, she goes into this room and there's that big crucifix is on the wall, and she's kneeling down and she's praying and saying, thank you, Jesus, for your sacrifice, and I love you, and, people are so obsessed with sex today, and can you please, free them from their carnal desires and ease their torment and stuff like that. And there's a desk behind her, and she reaches into this desk drawer and pulls out this whip. And then she takes the top half of her dress off and takes her bra off and ends up whipping her back, like flagellating herself with this whip. And, you get the feeling she does this on a regular basis. And then, she, when she's done, she just puts her dress back on and says, thank you, Jesus, and goes back and goes about her business. And then there's another scene where she's like kind of just going throughout her house on her knees, and she's got this thing around her waist, some kind of contraption, some kind of, I don't know what it is. But anyway, obviously it's there to, bring pain or whatever. And so she's going throughout her house on her knees and praying and stuff. So, she really takes this to the extreme. She takes this stuff seriously. Like I said, this is her entire life. And there's like this, she sings hymns and stuff like that. And, her life just completely revolves around her religion. And then about not even halfway, like I think maybe a quarter of the way into the movie, when the movie starts off, she's alone. But then one day this guy shows up, this Muslim guy sitting on her couch, turns out to be her husband. I guess they were separated or estranged. And he's paralyzed from the waist down. He had some kind of accident. We don't know what kind of accident, but anyway, he was paralyzed by this accident. And he just shows up again one day, and she, I guess, lets him move in, makes up a bed for him on the couch. And, at first I felt kind of sorry for him. He seems like this really kind of nice guy. Like he wants to sleep with her. He wants to get closer to her, but she obviously wants nothing to do with him sexually whatsoever. And he's really hurt by this at first, and he keeps trying to kind of appeal to her and say, please let me touch you. And she just keeps, like shooing him away. And then, but as the movie goes along, he gets more and more frustrated with her, like how obsessive she is about her religion. And he just becomes really nasty and mean and a total asshole. And he goes around the house at one point knocking her crosses off the wall, and just like like he's not getting his way. And so he just gets, really just, pissy about it and just turns into a total jerk. But yeah, there was one scene in this movie that will stick in my mind forever, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'll just give you the kind of setup for it. It was just, see, this is one of the reasons this guy, draws so much, I guess, criticism and hate from a lot of people because of, the way he does these scenes. But anyway, so she's coming home one day, she's been out all day doing this, knocking on people's doors and stuff like that. She's coming home and it's dark, and she's going through this park. And she hears like these noises, and first it sounds just like people's voices, and then you can hear people, I guess, heavy breathing or whatever. So pretty much figure out what's going on. There's people making out in this park or whatever. So she just kind of stops, and she stands there and is listening for a while, and then she kind of, goes over to see what's going on, and boy, does she get an eyeful. That's all I'm going to say. And I mean, the look on her face is just priceless. She's standing there watching what's going on, and she's like, oh my God, she's about to have a stroke or something. And then she's wearing this cross, and of course, so she's kissing this cross and praying, and then she ends up running away. And so that scene, I'm sure, would, caused a hell of a lot of controversy. That was something else. So I won't spoil it for you and tell you what she saw. You're going to have to see the movie and see for yourself. Let's see, what else do I want to say about this movie? It was a very depressing movie, very down movie. All three of these movies actually were quite depressing in tone. Paradise Love was quite depressing. The way that it depicted this woman who was looking for love and trying to get love through sex and getting constantly thwarted by her efforts to find it. No matter what she did, she couldn't find satisfaction. She couldn't find what she was looking for. Same with this woman in her own way. Through her faith, she's trying to get fulfillment, but it's she's not, oh yeah, there's another scene in this movie where she just gets really angry and starts actually whipping the crucifix, which is another scene I'm sure that angered a lot of people, right? Um, these people they're just like very, very unhappy and very, very frustrated. And, it's, not everybody's good at dealing with that. And, these people certainly weren't. And then the girl in Paradise Hope, they said she was just kind of looking for love, I think. And she develops this monster crush on this doctor, and she thinks it's a sexual thing, but really I think she was just looking for, parental love. And she wasn't getting that either. So each character in their own way, all the women characters in these movies were, just not able to find, the love, the satisfaction, the fulfillment they needed in their lives. And they each went about it in a different way, and neither of them got what they were looking for. So this whole trilogy, I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. If you're a cinephile, cineast, you will love these movies, I think. Like I said, I love this guy's style. I love his daringness. I love his boldness. I love the fact that he's, not afraid to offend people and go to some pretty out there places. I appreciate that. I love those kinds of movies. I'll definitely be watching for this guy's movies in the future. And now that I've seen the trilogy, I want to go. I know he's made a couple of other movies. I have to see them as well, see what they're like. So yeah, I'm trying to think, am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. I think I pretty much covered it all. Yeah, this was very good. But I would say out of the entire trilogy, I liked Paradise Love the most. I would put Paradise Hope at number 2 and this one number 3. This one number 3 because it was just so like depressing. Really, really depressing. But like I said, so well done. Even though this guy deals with uncomfortable and controversial and dark subject matter, he does it in such a way that it is just engrossing and fascinating, and you can't take your eyes off it. And the actresses in these movies were all incredible. All 3 movies. I'll put the information below, the name of each actress, each lead actress in each film, because they were fabulous. Okay, so that's my review of Paradise Faith. I hope you enjoyed this review, and go and watch the other ones that I did, the ones on love and hope, if you haven't seen them already. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you again later. Bye.